They played their way into the national championship game, had the lead in the second half against Kansas. Underway as Carolina wins the opening tip.
And Dave, this game in large measure is going to come down to whether Boston College can rebound with North Carolina. The first time these two teams played, it came down to offensive rebounding. Carolina had 19 second chance points to only 5 for Boston College.
Tar Heels winning that one in their only meeting of the season, 72-64. Love inside, misfires on his first shot of the night. And BC, the 10 seed, and a pair of nice wins this season over top 25 opponents. They beat Clemson in January. They upset number 6 Virginia as well, and that one swished in. Makai Ashton Langford off to the races.
Well, R.J. Davis went underneath that screen, and Ashton Langford only shoots 30% from 3. That's his 32nd 3 of the year.
And hit 16 yesterday as Carolina gets on the board. 3-2 BC. Earl Grant, the head coach for Boston College. He's 3-1 in this tournament.
Well, they had a great run last year.
Now McLaughlin, the 6'7" freshman out of Cumming, Georgia, knocks that one down.
Doesn't shoot a lot of threes. That's only his 7th on the season, but he shoots over 45% from 3. There's a little slice cut screen for the screener in order to get Armando Bacot down to the low post, then the quick double.
On the spin, getting inside the lane, and that'll roll in for him.
Every time, Dave, that he's on the left side of the floor, that left block, he's going to face up. And when he faces up, you can expect him to spin. That's exactly what he did there. And any time that Armando Bacot gets single coverage, they got a quick double, but he needs to go to work on Boston College.
On the move, Bickerstaff just lost control of that one. TJ Bickerstaff, 6'9" senior, gives it away. Hubert Davis looking for win number 20 tonight. And I mentioned Earl Grant, year number 2 at BC. Then a head coach and assistant, stops at Wichita State, Clemson, College of Charleston, and now Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts.
When you were working with Hubert Davis, did you ever ask him why he would want to leave a job as difficult and challenging as broadcasting, go into something as easy as coaching?
I never did. Hey, nothing easy about that move. Leaky Black going up high for 2.
Well, North Carolina really trying to attack the rim. Caleb Love, Leaky Black, and I think they should continue to do that because that's going to lead them to free throw opportunities and certainly easier baskets.
Well, Ashton Langford feeling it early. The native of Worcester, Massachusetts, in year number 5. He's been around a long time.
Did you pronounce that correctly? I thought it was Worcester.
That is correct, actually.
Good pass.
Inside for Bacot. Knocks that one down, and Armando headed to the line.
Well, North Carolina passing out of that little ball screen action, and then Bacot just rolling to the basket. He had to be picked up by a tag man. And as soon as he set the screen, rolls out, and Makai Ashton Langford just jumps in front of him. And it's a foul and a bucket for Armando Bacot.
Armando coming in averaging 17 and 11. Just about exactly his numbers the first time they played Boston College, 16 and 11. Can't finish off the three-point play.
Yeah, when in that first game against Boston College, he had 16 rebounds. It's remarkable the career that Armando Bacot has had at North Carolina to be the all-time leading rebounder with all the amazing players that North Carolina's had over the decades.
Shot clock down to 7. Lockton will kick it. Malik Bay will turn and fire. Left it well short.
Good challenge by Caleb Love. Used his body, forced a difficult 2.
Bacot again, despite getting double up. Gives it up. Tough shot there by Black. Bacot right back to the glass. Working strong and draws another foul.
Bacot is so good at wedging himself in there and getting that inside position on the offensive glass. And again, working off that left block. He's able to use his right hand to pass out, but just spins out of it and gets it to Leaky Black. But just he keeps going to the boards, just making himself available, and the number of times he gets to the offensive glass.
Zachary with his first foul. Bacot 66% at the line, and here comes Quinton Post. The 7-foot senior. And Holly, that is a great sign for BC.
That's right. He's their leading scorer at 7 feet tall, a huge piece of their offense at 15 points a game. But he injured his mid-sprain left foot against Georgia Tech. He did not play against Louisville yesterday, but he's gone through the entire warm-up. He looked pretty good, and they're going to try to let him play as much as he's comfortable with here tonight. This is a huge deal. His 7-foot frame against Armando Bacot, you could already see them getting hurt on the boards, and having him back in is a huge deal right now.
Ashton Langford again. He's the hot hand right out of the gate.
Ashton Langford is a worker, and he's so good in the open floor, and he's really improved those shooting mechanics over his time in college.
Post, by the way, at 15.6 rebounds a game. It's a huge get back.
You know, and Holly's right about Quentin Post, but I think having his ability to stretch the floor is going to be really key, because he can pull Armando Bacot away from the basket, and Boston College has to attack the paint. They are not a proficient three-point shooting team.
Davis with a triple. Ashton Langford, number 11 for Boston College, getting every shot he's taking. As Zachary handles at the top of the key, and he'll lift the long one in and out.
And I think Leaky Black being on Jaden Zachary shows how much respect that Hubert Davis has for Zachary. Put the best defender on him.
Love on the drive. What a quick step that was.
How many times this year would we have seen Caleb Love pull up for a jumper there? But that was just a strong left-handed drive. And I just think he's a better player when he's putting the ball on the deck and using that athleticism to get to the rim and pick up fouls.
Yeah, you saw him go 0 for 6 against Duke, 3 for 12 shooting. Into the post, 4 posts, and a traveling violation. He was rather shocked by that call from Roger Ayers. That's going to be their 3rd turnover. North Carolina on top, 15-10. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. And by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere. room. We love to take our cameras and our microphones inside. Earl Grant, second-year head coach of BC, said yes.
Be who we are. All right, they let us in the race. That's on them. A lot of people don't want to invite us. We here, okay? We here. Believe in each other. Believe in what we're doing, okay? Hunt your EGBs at a high level. Do it for 40 minutes, all right? And all you're doing is playing BC basketball. We don't got to make nothing up. Just be who we are. Let's go. Here we go. Hunt on 3. Advance on 6, man. You got it. 1, 2, 3. Hunt. 4, 5, 6. Advance. Let's go.
Well, that's the mantra come tournament time, right? Survive and advance. Best you can. Love on the drive. Will kick it. Nance. Shot clock a factor. Down to 2. Long one on the way off the back of the iron by Davis. He'll get a second chance, though. Black keeping it alive. Here's Love. Yes. Feathery touch.
It is amazing, Dave, how many threes you see after offensive rebounds. Boston College was thinking about taking the ball the other way. All of a sudden, they've got to get matched up, and Caleb Love gets a wide-open step-in 3 as a result of Leaky Black's offensive rebound.
Justin Langford. Nice feed there, and a better block there by Nance.
Well, Pete Nance is 10th in the ACC in block shots and got all ball with that right hand, saving a basket. Good back cut, but Nance was alert to it on the weak side, came over and just erased it by DeMar Langford.
Kai's brother wondering why he went in against number 32. 8 seconds to get off a shot here for BC. Justin Langford hunting for another one, and here's a 3. And a misfire there. Deflected out, however, off of North Carolina. 18-10 the Heels.
Late clock. RJ Davis had to get off a deep one, but Leaky Black able to corral that rebound. Took a dribble, and then when you turn your head, Caleb Love wide open for that 3. That's the best time to shoot a 3. And the analytics prove it after an offensive rebound.
And he has 7. Post with a triple. As you said, that's a shot he can hit. He's 44% out there.
And that takes Armando Bacot away from the basket, but it also allows him to get down court a little bit early and establish low post position. Good pass out.
Here's Love. Got a great look, but off the front of the iron.
Well, that's just good inside-out basketball.
Knocked away, and North Carolina will save it. Dunn going into the corner.
Well, Caleb Love has been active early in this game, taking it to the basket. He's made some good defensive plays, especially as a weak side defender.
Love with a swing. Dunn backs it out, and a whistle, and they'll get Bacot for foul number 1.
And Bacot's saying that was a flop. He wants the referees to look at it. And they are going to take a look at it, it seems.
Yep, Roger Ayers and Lee Cassell heading over there. And we'll take a look.
Right underneath the basket. Quentin Post going up against Armando Bacot. He put that arm out, but it didn't look like there was enough contact to warrant that. Yeah, that's... You're not supposed to have your arm out, I get it, but that happens all the time. But there's no way that that minimal contact caused that kind of reaction. And especially with Armando Bacot telling the referee, take a look at that. Like, come on.
Used to be a warning. Those days are over. 12:46 to go here in the first half.
Looks like they're keeping the offensive foul.
And Roger coming over. Contact with the arm, not the elbow.
I just don't think it had Quentin Post not fallen down, there's no way that call would have been made. So that was just a flop rewarded.
Jay, I want to ask you before we get too deep about the news about Jim Boeheim today. 78 years old. He's no longer the head coach at Syracuse University after an incredible run, an incredible career, 47 years at his alma mater.
There's no way to even put in perspective the profound impact that Jim Boeheim's had on the game of basketball. 47 years at Syracuse, even longer when you consider him as a player. 1962 was his first year as a player at Syracuse. Played with the great Dave Bing. but he's been not only a champion, a winner, but an innovator, amazing strategist. You're looking at one of the great coaches of all time in any sport. 5
Final Fours, won it all with Carmelo, of course, 2003.
35 NCAA tournament appearances. Most conferences don't have that.
Incredible. Kelly too strong with a triple. Love gives it off for Nance. Carolina running their offense. Long one coming, and that didn't touch a thing by Johnson. Did not even get to the iron.
Really what North Carolina wants to do, put that little chicken wing out. Got an offensive foul, but North Carolina wants to just keep Boston College in front of them and not let them into the lane. Protect the paint.
This weekend. It is for a very beautiful reason. Roger Ayers, one of the longtime officials in this league, his daughter Laken was previously diagnosed with thyroid cancer. He said, my daughter doesn't call me all the time, so I knew when I was in the locker room at Maryland when she called, something was wrong. She said, Dad, I've got cancer. He said it's been very devastating. She's a young, vibrant woman just getting out of grad school, but she will undergo surgery in a few weeks. But they wanted him to know that he is supported, he is loved, and they presented these pink whistles at their officials' dinner when they got here to Greensboro. He said, it means the world to me that everybody's got my back.
Isn't that wonderful? Dunn will lift one and swish it in from three-point land. Roger, a terrific official. His daughter, an incredibly bright young lady. She graduated the University of Virginia in 3 years.
Well, we wish her all the best, and the entire Ayers family and everybody going through cancer. And it's been so important. The V Foundation, all the work that's been done. There's Lakin and Roger Ayers.
I mean, if you're a parent, heck, even if you're not, but especially if you are, can you imagine when you get that call? What goes through your mind?
It's unimaginable.
Boston College scoreless in the last 5 minutes. Battle for a loose ball, scooped up by Nance. He has Johnson with him, and he will finish it.
A lot of contact on that pass, but Leaky Black getting the deflection and the steal. And transition has been harder to come by this year for North Carolina. They're not a team that forces a lot of turnovers.
They look very comfortable. A 13-0 run for the Heels. Nice drive on the reverse there by Jaden Zachary for 2.
Well, he was really good against Louisville at 15 points, 8 assists, 3 steals against the Cardinals.
Excellent defender as well for BC. 23-12 North Carolina.
BC really needs to stick with R.J. Davis and Caleb Love and then help off a Leaky Black.
Yes.
And you cannot allow him an open shot like that. That was a rhythm jumper.
I mean, that statement had not even gotten out of your mouth yet, and he drilled one from way downtown.
You just have to, those are the two guys, Love and Davis, that can really hurt you from the perimeter. If you can shut them off and essentially face guard them, you can help off other players.
North Carolina looking to add to a 26-12 advantage in a quick moving first half here in Greensboro.
There haven't been a lot of fouls because there hasn't been a lot of physicality on the part of Boston College.
And it's jumping inside, can't get it to go. Eagles have struggled to hit the 3 all season long, just 32%. They rely on this guy, Post. Tough shot there as he draws the foul. Looked like he got hit in the mouth. Post trying to make it back from that foot injury. And that'll be on Pete Nance, number 2. So it'll be Post headed for the line. Most improved player in the ACC. Put up 6 20-point games against Notre Dame. He had a dandy 29 points and 14 rebounds. So as it turns out here in Greensboro, 2 head coaches ended their careers with their schools during this tournament.
Yeah, Mike Bray of Notre Dame, and then it turns out Jim Boeheim. That was his last game at Syracuse. And that wasn't one that I necessarily saw coming. We knew that Mike Bray was going to lead Notre Dame after this tournament, but I wasn't quite sure about Jim Boeheim. And from his press conference, we didn't get a whole lot of clarity, actually.
No.
But I don't speak Boeheim, so I didn't have a translator.
I went to school there, and I don't. Davis will drop in points number 7 and 8 for him.
Just too easy. And he's so good in that mid-range. R.J. Davis, I think he's the most dangerous scorer that North Carolina has. And he would be number 1 on the scouting report.
And they're coming in at 16 a game. Love interrupted that pass. And it'll go the other way. That'll belong to North Carolina, leading 28-14.
R.J. Davis has taken over most of the ball handling responsibilities. Just gets a high screen, turns it down. And Boston College in drop coverage, that means the big guy Quentin Post wasn't up to touch with the screener, just playing sort of center field on it. And Boston College zoning up right now. The middle of that zone is going to be the playmaker spot, and then Armando Bacot will just roam around, stay behind it if possible.
He flashed up top. Here's Davis again. Bacot with the board, and he's headed the line again. The 6'11 senior draws the foul. The nothing but net crew will be back at 11:30 Eastern after the Virginia Tech NC State game to break down all 4 New York Life ACC tournament second round games, the post game interviews, plus a look ahead at Thursday's quarterfinals, all on the ACC network. Foul on Bickerstaff, his first.
And Earl Grant deciding to go with a little zone to try to keep North Carolina out of the lane. Carolina's been dominating the paint, getting to the rim. But when you do that, one of the things you're going to give up are offensive rebound opportunities. And the primary guy you have to worry about is Armando Bacot, who averages 4.5 offensive rebounds a game, leads the league again.
Out of Richmond, Virginia makes the pair. And now Carolina really looking comfortable. He has 8. Of course, he is a double-double machine. Ashton Langford got BC off quick. Post trying to back down. Banging with Bacot, swooping in a lane. Nice shot.
Well, he can play out on the perimeter, and that allowed him to keep off that dribble handoff, and then he could just go into back down mode, as you mentioned. And Quentin Post, the most improved player in the ACC. I thought that Hunter Tyson of Clemson might get that, but another rhythm jumper for Caleb Love. And North Carolina has not been made to feel uncomfortable on the offensive end. There's just not any pressure on them right now from Boston College.
Very homey environment certainly here at Greensboro for the Tar Heels. Carolina blue everywhere you look, as anticipated. Tough angle. Ashton Langford with a misfire. Loose ball on the deck.
Good pass.
Got it inside and a foul. 7:09 to go here in the first half, and North Carolina looking good. 33-16 over the Eagles of Boston College. Trying to spring one tonight, but they have a long way to come back.
Well, Boston College trying to ramp up the emotion to try to keep up with North Carolina in another must-win game for the Tar Heels.
Down, thank you very much. 33-16 North Carolina. So Joy Brackett says the Big Ten with 9 bids, SEC with 8, 7 for the Big 12. There's 5 for the ACC right now. Feel right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it has not been a banner year for the ACC. I know that the ACC coaches and some of the players, specifically Clemson's Hunter Tyson, they don't like to hear that. But you know, in most really good years in the ACC, we're talking about how many number 1 and number 2 overall seeds they're going to have in the NCAA tournament. This year, there's nobody in that conversation. And so there's no question it hasn't been a quote-unquote normal year for the ACC. Boston College back to man now. They got to find a way to put more pressure because North Carolina's getting anything they want. They're shooting 65% in this first half.
Well, couldn't find the angle. Nickel into the game, gets the rebound in the second try. Davis banks it in from three-point land.
TJ Bickerstaff put some late pressure on that shot to try to adjust it, but still off the window and in. And another offensive rebound basket.
And the bank is open here in Greensboro. I guess it is.
Good call. But with Jaden Zachary, Carolina's going under screens. With Makai Ashton Langford, they're going over, but that's forcing Ashton Langford into help, and that's a tough 2 he had to make.
Well, he has 11. Styles will drive in the 3 from the corner, and North Carolina cannot miss beyond the arc.
Well, their shots are rhythm jumpers, and that came off of the third side of the floor. Carolina's moving the ball, but there's not a ton of pressure on the ball from Boston College. They're not out in passing lanes. It's not the kind of defensive team they are, but they can certainly make it a little more difficult by impacting the ball a little bit more. Passes are made so easily.
Love with the foul, yeah, and that's leading to those open threes, and North Carolina's hit 7 out of 10. You know, for the year, they're 31% beyond the three-point line, but you were betting they were going to be better than that coming into the season. At times they have been, but certainly not over the entirety of the season. It's one of the reasons they are where they are.
Well, I always remember what the late, great Michigan State coach Judd Heathcote used to say when Mark Few would, in a scouting report, lay off of a guy that couldn't shoot. Say, why aren't you guarding that guy? And Mark would say, well, he can't shoot. And Judd would say, do you ever think that's because people were getting a hand up on him?
League Bay found it very tough sledding there. And North Carolina comes away with the basketball, leading 39-20 as we approach the 5-minute mark. And still to come tonight, Virginia Tech and NC State. That's at 9:30 in the finale. Davis off the front iron.
Tough shot. They ran a little high screen roll replace action with Caleb Love coming up top and Armando Bacot rolling to the basket. And I thought Bacot should have gotten the ball there.
Zachary with some contact, no whistle.
Yeah, he should have gotten a foul. That was a foul.
Love jumping inside. Can't finish. Bacot can't either, but another effort. Here's Nickel. Bacot grabs another one. Slapped away. Ashton Langford with the theft.
Bacot's down.
He is slow to get back. And another basket here for BC. And an official timeout as Bacot hobbles off.
Not sure whether he twisted that left ankle, but after Ashton Langford was able to poke that ball away, Bacot went down, didn't get up.
And then Zachary drilled it. And he hobbled Armando Bacot. Heads to the bench to take a seat.
He just grabbed his head saying, not again. He had an ankle last year that was a difficulty in the NCAA tournament. Hobbled him in the final against Kansas, but he gutted it out.
And set the screen. Then rolling to the basket. Went for the dunk and draws the foul.
Good screen and roll right out of the slot, and an excellent pass from R.J. Davis. Take a look at Armando Bacot grabs the rebound. Oh, it wasn't even because of the strip. It happened just when he went down. It was basically a non-contact. And just rolled that left ankle.
Yeah, and he is headed for their locker room. And off he goes. We'll get you an update on Armando Bacot as soon as one becomes available. Everything had been going so well to that point for the Tar Heels. Bacot 8 points, 5 rebounds, also 3 assists. And so Johnston in. Holly?
Well, guys, you might remember he twisted that same ankle against Virginia January 10th, and you heard him say, not again. That's the same ankle. He's definitely limping, heavy limp, and he's going to the locker room. We'll keep you updated.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. BC to try and run. Zachary with a kick out. Pena blocked. Going to get it back, though. Fight for that. A whistle there on the baseline with 3:57 to go in the half. North Carolina leading at 39-23. Just under 4 to play here in the first half of round 2. Dallin, thank you. 3:57 to go before we see at halftime. In for Quentin Post, and we'll see if he can get a little damage done as he rolls and drops in 2. And he has half a dozen.
Well, Quentin Post can play inside. He can play outside. Physical, but I think Pete Nance can drive him if he gets an opportunity. You don't want to do it on the first side of the floor, but when he catches it, I think he can put it on the floor and get it into the paint.
Black to make a move with a shot clock at 6. He's in the paint. Davis again. Oh, it spun out. Man, that was in the cylinder.
Well, it was a good shot, but a really good relocation. Rather than just stand and let Leaky Black try to find you, R.J. Davis got within his line of vision. Just a good job to relocate himself.
Black is such an outstanding defender with the block there.
And finally, Leaky Black was named to the ACC All-Defensive Team. Sort of a shock last year. He wasn't included in that. But that was all ball. A lot of contact on the drive by Zachary, but Leaky Black ended it all there.
Nansen a back down on post. That's a sweet shot off the window.
Well, fading away. Nance was open a little bit earlier, but R.J. Davis didn't see him right away, but finally got it to him. And to Tom Crean's point, he can operate in there. And got a good little mid-range game. But it's his opportunity now to take over with Armando Bacot out.
Post straight on. Nice touch.
Well, that's what makes him so difficult to deal with, because he can knock down a three. He can post.
A couple minutes before the break, a little more than that, and Boston College hoping to make some inroads here with Bacot out. Love on the drive. No. Rebound tipped and controlled by the Eagles. The number 10 seed trying to knock off number 7 seed North Carolina.
What was your take on the lemon Oreo thing with Pete Nance?
I loved it, actually.
Do you like lemon Oreos?
I love them.
Really?
I was glad to hear somebody else did.
Well, he definitely does. I don't know if it's for the taste as much as for the effect.
Yes.
But I'm not a lemon Oreo guy. I don't want citrus in my Oreos. I don't have scurvy.
So take care of that. Pena at the line. 41-28. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. CJ Pena, 6'7" grad. Will drop that one in. So it's 41-29.
Oh.
Boy, had Johnson open and it's kicked.
But who came up with the whole lemon Oreo thing? I mean,
it's a great question.
I don't know why you'd want to go that direction when you've got all that chocolatey goodness. I wouldn't put chocolate in my lemonade. Why would you put lemon in your Oreo?
Oh, now that you've run it down like that, I feel terrible even trying it. What was I thinking? Just absolutely nuts, Holly.
Well, I want to know if Jay actually tried one, so that is his opinion valid on this? It feels like it's vanilla wafers with a little lemon cream inside. I did try them last week for the first time, and I can confirm they're better than the vanilla cream Oreos for sure.
Yeah, you lost me on that one, Holly. Like, I did try them when we did the 94 feet with Pete Nance, and I was unimpressed. It's people's taste differs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't get the whole lemon thing.
We should all be on the Oreo payroll at this point. Zachary with foul number 2, because I know everyone who hasn't tried them is going to run out and try them now.
Well, they led to a 22-point outburst for Pete Nance against Virginia. So clearly, like, I know Roy Williams a little bit superstitious at times, and I'm not a superstitious guy, but why risk it? If it's working, why risk it?
No doubt. Love off the fake. He'll spin and fire.
A good job by Quentin Post to come over and help.
Pena lines up a long one. That clangs away. A big story of this first half, certainly North Carolina hitting their three-pointers, but also the exit of Armando Bacot, first team all ACC. Certainly looked like that ankle again, which has been a problem for him. Davis has it knocked away. Shot clock at 9. Love will shoot it. And just short.
Yeah, a lot of those threes that North Carolina hit early, a couple of them came off offensive rebounds, but they were also because they were playing inside out with Armando Bacot. And since he's been out, North Carolina's found it more difficult to get open looks.
And a timeout, Boston College. Earl Grant will take one here. We're going to go away for 30 and return to Greensboro. Championship continuing all week. #1 Kansas getting on the floor on ESPN 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, Kansas has had a remarkable year. They've won 15 or 16 quad one games. They played an incredible schedule, and I'm really looking forward to this game. NC State going against Virginia Tech. We're going to see some shot making in that game. And Mike Young, formerly the coach at Wofford, now at Virginia Tech, and he's not a lemon Oreo guy. He likes popcorn.
Sure does.
Big popcorn guy.
Before every game, you'll see him on the sideline, watching guys take shots and eating the popcorn. Jumper on the way from the wing. Airmail, but
I don't know if he got it off.
He did not.
I think it was still in his hands when the red light came on.
Yeah, DeMar Langford made the catch. Went up for the slam, but they say no. Take a look.
Referees waved it off. Yeah, right above. I thought that red light went off. Yep, still in his hands.
On the shot clock, 2.9 remaining here in the first half as they go to the monitor, make sure they have this right.
So now North Carolina whether it's counted or not, and it won't be, will have an opportunity to go length of the floor here.
And certainly the focus when we get to halftime in the second half will be the status of the 6'11" senior Armando Bacot. You were saying, even if he can come back, if they have the game, relatively handled, if that's the case, why bring him back?
Yeah, why take the risk? I mean, they can make that determination with their medical staff, but I'm assuming here that the officials are going to put a little bit more time on the clock. I thought it was over 3, but I can't tell you to the exact second. But that gives North Carolina an opportunity, if they want to throw it to around midcourt and then call another timeout and then run a play where they can actually get a better shot. If they decide just to do it here, you want to throw it as long as you can.
You're correct. They reset to 3.6. Black gets it into Dunn. As he gets to midcourt, here's the heave. And too strong, and that's how the first half ends. With North Carolina on top 43.
And so he's going to give it a try in the second half.
Knowing that you have this game, but if you win, you have other games ahead of you this weekend. How do you manage his minutes and how he plays?
Well, I just want to see how he runs, how he cuts, how he moves, how he rebounds, and just make sure he's out there. One of the things as a coach is you never want to put your players in a situation where they can get hurt or where they can get injured. I love Armando and I love all the players. The game means absolutely nothing. It's about them. It's about the players.
Thank you, Coach.
And he just scored as he opens up on the court in the second half.
Well, that was the same sort of move that he got an offensive foul in the first half when Quentin Post, we thought, flopped. And that was a lot more substantial shot that he took there, went down, but the referees didn't call it.
Zachary, too strong. Black up high for the rebound. North Carolina leading at 45-29. Looking to play their way into the quarterfinals. Bacot had it roll off the hand. BC comes away with it.
Boy, big guys don't like it when you throw the ball at their feet. Throw it up.
Ashton Langford, nifty little spin underneath, but no. North Carolina, the 7 seed. BC, the 10 seed. And getting off quickly here, Caleb Love. And he has 14.
And that's more the transition we're used to seeing from North Carolina. The nice pass ahead, and Armando Bacot trying to post up Quentin Post. Took him a while to get around him, and then Love just went right underneath that right arm, and Post got a piece of him going up.
So Love looking for the three-point play, and he connects.
Different player when he's attacking the basket first. With that body and that athleticism, Caleb Love should make a living at the free throw line.
76% foul shooter. Ashton Langford turns to fire, but no. Early in the game, he couldn't miss.
Just good late pressure by Leaky Black.
Davis takes the bump, almost made the shot too.
So Dave, for Boston College, I'm a little surprised that right away they didn't go right at Armando Bacot. Boston College should be the one testing out his ankle. Get Quentin Post in the post, get him out on the perimeter, but go to Quentin Post and see whether Armando Bacot can move around.
Had a little trouble on that one.
That's another pass at his feet. Maybe the best news for North Carolina in that first half. They had 16 field goals, but 10 assists. And this has not been a high assist team.
Love with the deflection, very active defensively. All the way to the baseline, throws it away, picked up by Zachary. Going up against Davis, and that's a nice move for 2.
Well, Jaden Zachary is a very good defender. He averages close to 1.5 steals per game. That's 7th in the ACC, but that was just a poor pass by Caleb Love. You get down on the baseline, you throw that diagonal pass back out, and you're just asking for that to be picked off.
48-31 Carolina. Nance with a touch. Into that paint with a fall away.
He knew that Mekhi Ashton Langford was not going to be able to bother that shot. I'm not sure he even needed to fade away, but that's Pete Nance's game.
Winner of this one to get the 2 seed Virginia. We've got Virginia Tech and NC State coming up later on tonight here in Greensboro. Post in the lane, needing some help, and that's going to be a 3-second violation.
Good job by Armando Bacot just to stay in front of Quentin Post. When he picked up his dribble, he just stayed between him and the basket. And Pete Nance, there's no way that Mekhi Ashton Langford at that size is really going to be able to bother that shot. And Nance has a really nice touch. He's just a different player than Brady Manick was last year. I mean, Manick at 6'10" was a great offensive rebounder, but he could also hit 6 or 7 threes in a game and could really space the floor and stretch a defense. And that opened up so many things, not just for Bacot inside, but so many driving and cutting lanes.
Yeah, it's a player that a lot of the early season voters kind of forgot about when they made North Carolina the #1 team in the country. Davis bumped and fouled on the play. So he gets hit by McLaughlin.
And to your point, Dave, I think we could certainly have done a better job as far as, North Carolina being ranked preseason #1. Maybe that was a little bit too lofty given the year they had last year. We did it based upon the finish. But they still would have been top 10, and they haven't performed at a top 10 level this year.
Nance picks the rebound right back up and takes another foul. So the 6'11" grad out of Akron, Ohio, working hard. Bickerstaff with foul number 2.
And North Carolina, I mean, they're a good offensive rebounding team, largely because of Armando Bacot, but their offensive rebound rate is around 30%. Last year it was up at like 38%. It was up among the best in the country. This year they're outside the top 100 in generating second chance opportunities.
Well, the Wolfpack coming in with their standout backcourt. And getting ready to take on Virginia Tech. Looking forward to that one. That's at 9:30 right here as Nance connects. And this is the biggest lead. 52-31 for North Carolina.
North Carolina has been good defensively. For the most part, they've kept Boston College out of the paint and turned them into a jump shooting team, which is not the strength of the Eagles.
Ashton Langford only makes 31% from 3-point land. And again, early on, he was hitting them. Black slicing in. Long one coming, and that'll switch in by Caleb Love, and he has 18.
And that was off of penetration. The penetration by Leaky Black collapsed the defense, and then a good relocation by Caleb Love, and that was another rhythm jumper. They're not challenge shots.
So the lead balloons to 55-31 here in the second half.
Leaky Black with the penetration from the left wing, and as he gets into the middle, draws the defense. You see Mekhi Ashton Langford helping off, and the relocation cut by Caleb Love for a simple little jump shot. At least they made it look easy, and another assist for Carolina.
The end of Jim Boeheim's coaching career, and then Pittsburgh holding off a very stubborn Georgia Tech team as they play their way into the quarterfinals here in Greensboro. Oh, big block there by Nance. He got up high.
Boy, that's his second block right out of the hands of a Boston College shooter at the rim. Well, his timing is really good.
North Carolina guards have combined for 29. Davis, rattles in another one.
Got the switch. Quentin Post was guarding him, and he was just able to size him up and comfortably step into that shot.
North Carolina opening up the second half on a 15-2 run.
And North Carolina basically guarding inside of the three-point line. They're not extending out beyond that. Just trying to take away any penetration and force Boston College to prove it over the top. And thus far, the Eagles have been unable to do it. They hit a couple threes to start, but that's been it.
How has Baycott looked to you so far? He just went down on the seat of his pants.
He's moving gingerly, as you would expect. But you wonder how long, North Carolina is going to keep him out there, because the game is pretty much in hand right now. And you give him a little bit of extra time to rest, and then you take the rest of the evening. The rest and recovery and the rehab that they can do is so advanced.
Post throwing that one away. He has had a rough go of it, playing on a bad foot.
Pete Nance has had a couple of spectacular blocks, basket-saving blocks in this game. Well-timed, all leather. And then for North Carolina, their guards, Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, have been excellent, combining for 6 made threes.
Care of business. Dad taking care of his little boy here at halftime show in Greensboro. North Carolina by 27. It's their biggest lead in any ACC game this year.
Well, Carolina has been good defensively. Now a little 1-3-1 zone from Boston College.
Up top for Davis. Shot clock inside 10. The drive and kick. Shot clock to 5. Love going around the back. And one pass too many.
Yeah, just a difficult pass to try to complete along the baseline in traffic.
Only 5 turnovers for the Heels.
Carolina's not even going out to the three-point line. They're just packing it in and trying to take away any penetration, muddy things up in the lane, and protect the paint.
Kelly left alone for a triple and nothing but net.
And you don't want to dare Boston College to make shots, but so far the Eagles haven't proven they can make them over the top, and Carolina's going to make them prove it.
Kelly, freshman out of Houston, Texas. As we approach the 13-minute mark in the second half. Baycott resting that ankle. Shot clock is at 6. Black, they need a shot. Here's Love to launch. And try to keep it alive and go the other way. Boston College ball.
Well, with that zone, that was a little more of a 1-2-2 in that exchange. It's making North Carolina use a lot of the clock. I'm not sure that's necessarily in Boston College in their interest. They got to make some things happen.
Long one off the front iron by Langford. And one and done. Tar Heels feeling good, trying to trap BC, but can't come up with the ball. A one-hander by Johnson sailed right over the iron. Madsen looking for the paint. Tough move and a foul too.
R.J. Davis tried to slide in to get in front of Madsen, but he wasn't set by the time Madsen had left the floor. Left-handed drive, and he was probably in the restricted area as well. Just had his heels on it.
2 fouls on Davis. Madsen makes 74% at the line. Played 2 years at Cincinnati before coming to Boston College.
He made 48 threes as a Bearcat. And he's been good off the bench the last 12 or 13 games, averaging about 7 points a game. And he was good against Louisville. He had 9 points in that one.
North Carolina, Boston College, 2 of the most beautiful campuses anywhere in America. As Davis will back it out. Now the drive. He wanted the shot all the way. He was going to take it and give him 16.
Just got a little screen, found an opening. He is such a good player.
One-hander up and in by Kelly. The freshman's come on to hit 5 points.
Kelly did a really nice job of keeping R.J. Davis on his hip. Coming into this game, 15 of his 31 field goals have been threes.
As mentioned, Virginia Tech and the number 6 seed NC State to have at it in the nightcap. That one blocked by McLaughlin and will trigger a break here for Boston College. Bickerstaff contact there and an offensive foul. And Bickerstaff picks up his third. North Carolina on top 60-39, 11:20 to go here in Greensboro.
Are going back to the NCAA tournament. Absolute domination for Oral Roberts. Raging Cajuns are going to the big dance.
Once again, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, WCC tournament champions.
March is here.
Well, we certainly get punchy around Champ Week and all those schools punching their tickets. The NCAA tournament. Probably my favorite is Furman. That's a great story. It's been decades since they went.
1980.
Yeah.
Bob Ritchie has done a great job with that program. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for upset picks, though, some of the teams that have a great chance to pull early round upsets and maybe advance are, Drake could be one. Madsen, that was a quick release by Madsen to knock down the three. And Boston College is starting to chip away at this lead. You wonder if there's enough time left to make up an 18-point deficit. But Oral Roberts is another team. Max Asmus still there, averages about 22 points a game. They've got a big guy, 7'4", Connor Vanover. Played at Arkansas before transferring to Oral Roberts. They may be better this year than they were a couple years ago when they beat Ohio State in the tournament.
Davis shot clock it down to 1 and he dropped it in.
His mid-range game is so good. He averages about 16 points a game, and he's such a good guard rebounder. Averages over 5 rebounds a game, and he's barely 6 feet tall.
Pass getting downstairs.
Another block.
Yeah, another one. He has had a terrific game defensively.
And that pass was whistled right past his ear, and still Pete Nance was able to recover to block that shot.
Under 10 to play.
Now Boston College back to man-to-man.
Comes free. Love thought he got hit. Nansen just hit a long three a moment ago. Working on Davis, who pokes it away but commits a foul. Lee Cassell got him for the personal, and that'll be his third.
He just had his right arm around Madsen's waist.
Well, guys, R.J. Davis is an undersized player at 6'1", but he is so aggressive. He's so tough. His nickname from childhood is the Weasel. His mom, Vanessa, gave him that nickname, and it has stuck ever since. He said still to this day, Mom calls him the Weasel. And it's because weasels are small, ferocious animals, and that is how they think he still plays to this day. So every time I see him go for a steal or make a tough play, I'm like, well, there he goes. There goes the Weasel again.
There goes the Weasel again.
I didn't know that weasels were considered ferocious. that's a great report. I learned something.
Depends on the Weasel. North Carolina with a commanding lead. They have had for most of the night a commanding lead. Working it around the perimeter. Love pulls up and drains another one. Their guards have been tremendous. He has 20.
Just a comfortable little shot fake against the zone and the closeout of the zone. But Caleb Love has been completely in control of what he's doing in this game at both ends of the floor. But North Carolina's not been playing with much pressure. I mean, Boston College does not put pressure on the ball. At least they haven't in this game.
Langford steps back from 17. Can't hit it. Nance with another rebound. So he's doing a lot of that dirty work that you usually see Armando Bacot do underneath.
Caleb Love with the switch.
Love with a quick step. Slicing. Pretty move.
Just took the switch on with a little hesitation move, and he is stronger going to his right than he is to his left. Got to that right hand.
So Carolina on easy street, despite playing a big chunk of the ball game without their outstanding big man. A whistle with 7:56 to play. Love and Davis. This reminds you of their NCAA tournament run, and they have been dominating tonight here in Greensboro. Don't thank you. Last four in, says Joe Lunardi. That includes Rutgers. And first four out, North Carolina, along with Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Wisconsin.
Quentin Post back in the ballgame. A little right-hand drive. He's a skilled big guy. Just love watching him play.
As 11. North Carolina playing their way into the next round, the quarterfinal round. Number 2 seed Virginia awaits the winner of this one. Love has been on fire tonight. Easy cleanup there by Dunn, the sophomore, who has 5.
It's so hard to get blockout responsibilities in a 1-3-1 zone, and you know the corners against that 1-3-1 are going to be open if Carolina pushes it down there.
Strong drive there by Madsen. Now, how are you seeing Virginia Tech and NC State, our second game?
A lot of shot makers. And Terquavian Smith and Jarkel Joyner, you're not going to find better shot makers in college basketball than those two. And you had Casey Morsell in there. But Terquavian Smith has not shot the ball well over his last 5 games or so. And he needs to get untracked.
8 points for Nance. But defensively, he's been a menace against the Eagles. Langford wants the paint. Now falls away and hits it. His first basket.
It's tough to make a comeback when you're having to make so many tough twos. But that's been North Carolina's game plan. You know, make Boston College prove it over the top and keep them out of the lane. And for the most part, Carolina's done that.
Well, because of an ankle injury, Armando Bacot's played only 5 minutes of the second half. But North Carolina continues to look very good. 5 to get off a shot here, though, for Love. Nance swings it. Long one coming and far too strong there for Dunn. Chasing it down. Davis, good job to keep that alive. And they'll reset. Shot clock's at 14.
Late in the clock, you're going to see Boston College. They look like they're going to man late.
Tipped out by BC with 2.4 on the shot clock. Well, tournaments all around the country, of course. The Pac-12 men's tournament presented by New York Life.
UCLA, a Final Four favorite before Jalen Clark got hurt. And the announcement came today that Jalen Clark is out for the season.
Right. Had to hurry that one high off the backboard. Never got to the rim, so it's a shot clock violation. Bacot grinning, enjoying his time on the bench. Leaky Black going over there as well, so some of the reserves will get a chance to play some. Love and Davis have combined for 40 of Carolina's 70 points. Post getting in for 2.
Good tip dunk by Quentin Post from the Netherlands. Bet you didn't know this about the Netherlands, Dave, that Dutch men are known to be the world's tallest. They have an average height of over 6 feet.
Did not know that.
I've got a lot of Netherlands trivia for you.
This is how Jay spends his time in the hotel preparing for the broadcast.
It's not how I spend my time. I just know these things, Dave. I'm a citizen of the world.
You know a lot of information about tall people.
I know that. I also know that the Netherlands #1 in the world in flower exports, which I'm sure you did not know.
Yeah, well, I would have bet Nance with the stuff. No, I'm a man who loves my tulips. 72-50. Inside 5 minutes to go in Greensboro. Here's Post off the fake. Ashton Langford swishes in a three-pointer.
Boy, good action by Boston College. A little shot fake by Quentin Post. Puts it on the deck, draws the defense, and finds Mekhi Ashton Langford wide open.
Playing defense and a timeout. North Carolina. So as not to turn it over. North Carolina closing in on their 20th win of the season. And that all-important first victory in the ACC tournament. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. About to take on NC State, so it's the number 11 against the number 6 seed. Wolfpack getting set to take the floor in a matter of minutes.
DJ Burns bumping a little Jeezy there, I'm sure. Boston College sticking with the zone, going to a 2-3 now. Wings coming up a little bit.
Back for Nance. Dribble on the drive, made a tough shot. Youngster out of Wisconsin for two.
Well, even in a zone, you have to know your personnel. And that was a great drive by Seth Trimble, but it was made by that shot fake. And he's only made 1 3 on the year. You want to close out short to him.
On the other end, Zachary strikes. Make it 74-55.
Can't pick the ball up there.
Now the winner of Virginia Tech and NC State will take on the number 3 seed Clemson tomorrow night at 9:30.
It's hard to believe with the year that Clemson's had that they're considered on the bubble, or they've got to win here.
Nance will give it up. North Carolina, really good balance. 9 players have scored. 9 have at least 1 rebound. 6 players have at least 1 assist.
They've got 4 players in double figures. But the assists have been one of the most impressive things about North Carolina in this game. They've got, 15 or 16 assists in this game. And they're a team that only averages about 12 on the year.
Well, Love going to take some time off that clock at 2:48 to play. Shot clock inside 10. Knocked away by Ashton Langford, but he didn't earn a turnover. Carolina will continue with it. So look at our bracket, the New York Life ACC Men's Tournament. Miami and Wake coming your way at noon tomorrow. Duke and Pitt, 4 and 5 game at 2:30. Virginia getting the winner of this one. Clemson awaiting the winner of the nightcap.
Still hard for me to look at those brackets. When I played in the ACC in the 80s, the bracket was the only one. It was the one furthest to the right. Everything started the quarterfinals. There were only 8 teams in the league back then.
Dunn will bury a triple. Got 8 off the bench.
Boy, if he can come in and give meaningful minutes. At the start of the year, I think it was October, went to maybe November, early November, went to North Carolina practice, and DeMarco Dunn was so confident. He's battled injury. But if he can step in and play some meaningful minutes. Carolina has had some injury issues, most notably Jalen Washington there that just picked up that foul. And he had a knee injury coming out of high school. Did not have any continuity to start the year. And then that game against Virginia where Baycott twisted his ankle. Washington came in, if I remember right, at 13.6 rebounds. And he was really starting to blossom. Then he twisted his ankle against Boston College and sort of slowed his development. But he's a
rebound there, yeah.
Super talented player, and he's got a bright future.
Dunn gets it free. Trimble with a nice bounce. Speed for the slam by Styles. So everybody getting into the act for the Tar Heels tonight in Greensboro.
Well, that's the way you break pressure, and what a nice pass to the cutting Dontrez Styles out of the right corner.
So the bench contributing as well on the blow by. Ashton Langford adding to his total of 16, but has not had a lot of help from anybody else in this one. Quinton Post had that left foot injury and clearly still bothering him, although he's worked through it a little bit tonight.
Well, North Carolina breaking this pressure to score, and just a really intelligent cut by Styles out of the corner, and a beautiful little bounce pass from Seth Trimble. Seth Trimble is such a good defender. I mean, he's so dynamic getting through screens. It's like he's born in a stance.
Checking in for the first time tonight for North Carolina.
Now Dunn will head to the bench, giving Hubert Davis an opportunity to play some more guys off the pine with 90 seconds to go. Washington doubled up, got it free to Trimble. Nickel would not shoot it. Nickel's going to be open and left it short from three-point land. McCoy back up and two.
Well, Justin McCoy transferred in before last season from the University of Virginia.
Madsen, quick move. It's Zachary in there for two. Under a minute to play.
Well, right now for North Carolina, as they finish out this game, the job's going to be rehab for tonight for Armando Bacot to work on that ankle.
And Trimble with the bucket there. Now it's good to see him smiling over there on the bench. He wasn't smiling when he came off hobbling on a bad ankle. Only played 5 minutes in the second half, but we'll see how the training staff does its work. And Armando does have the ability to come back from injury. We've seen that a bunch of times with him.
North Carolina emptying the bench now. Jackson Watkins, Creighton Lebo coming into the game. Rob Landry also. And Creighton Lebo, number 25. His father, Jeff Lebo, former head coach at East Carolina, Tennessee Tech, and now the Tar Heel great. Jeff Lebo was one of the best cutters I ever played against.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, both he and Steve Hale, those guys backdoored us so much, couldn't see straight.
Zachary left that pass short, trying to feed Post. Lebo's going to jump inside. Can't get it to roll in. Now North Carolina impressive in this one. Their backcourt was outstanding as Zachary takes a hit, drops it in as well. He continues to play hard.
And Creighton Lebo trying to take that charge. I think he was just in the restricted area. He was there, but just like his dad, willing to take a hit. Yeah, he was there. He just had his feet in the restricted area, so he was moving backwards. And you can still move backwards to take a charge. There's Jeff. Carlisle, Pennsylvania. His dad, Dave Lebo, was the head coach of his high school team, and Jeff was a McDonald's All-American and just a great player at Carolina.
Now Trimble comes away with it. Final 10 seconds. Landry will line up a long one. That won't drop. It's going to be stuffed in anyway by McCoy. He got up there to provide the last highlight on an evening in which there were plenty for North Carolina. They sailed to an 85-61 victory. They are on into the quarterfinals.